Welcome to UMi Makes it easy to find and target international markets. My name is Ian Dunning from TradeTech Solutions, and for the past 20 years, I've been working with SMEs, helping them to expand their international markets. Before that, I was with HSBC internationally, working primarily in trade finance. So this gives me a wealth of experience in this field, and together with my colleagues, we have tried to distill much of this into the services we now offer, which we will explain going through. Right, now, if you're new to international trade and have not seen UMi Makes it easy to begin trading internationally, we will recommend that you see that first. And again, as with that, to set expectations, the focus of this presentation is on B2B opportunities. Some of the points that we can apply here to B2C, but they are often more complex, especially with regard to tax. So we don't go through those details here. Right, so we're assuming that you've decided you like international trade and you want to decide which B2B markets to aim for and how to open them up to your products and services. Well, there are many resources available to you, many of which are free of charge. However, to set expectations, as we did in the previous presentation, you will have to commit time and effort to determine which markets to target. And again, there is no magic wand for generating international sales. Opening up new markets takes time and effort. But we'll try and show to you that you don't have to spend a lot of money. Really against that. Okay, let's take things step by step. Yeah? You can set out your export plan in phases. The presentation will take you through those phases and show you how to target specific clients and partners. So here we go. Right, choose your target. Key steps. Website traffic analysis. It's the first place you should look. You know, who is coming to your website, and even better, coming to your multilingual microsite, because that gives you a clear indication that companies from those countries are interested in your products and services. Right. You could do research, desk research this, and we'll take you through the resources that are available. And this research is by actual trade flows and by market potential. Then we suggest what you do is you take what you've got to this point, then apply your own filters. You know, which ones do you still want to ignore? Target or targets chosen, focus your marketing. So those are the steps. Straightforward, no? Right. Finding new markets. We'll send you the link. We'll explain the link to this. You can see there are plenty of online resources. These are all free, primarily. One of the unfortunate effects of Brexit is that the International Trade Centre that we mentioned gives free access to EU companies. British companies get a certain level of access and then have to pay. But anyway, it's not very much and it's well worth doing. So one of the key ones is ITC, which is owned by the World Trade Organization and the United Nations. And what happens here is all the countries in the world, just about, send their trade information to the ITC, who then sort it and put it into their databases. As a result, you can check what existing trade exists between certain particular countries. And for some countries, you can actually see who is trading. They give you the details of the company names and addresses. It depends country to country how much of that extra detail there is. So this allows you to see what is going on at the moment. And it also then allows you to go and check who else is exporting into a particular market. So it starts to give you a competitor profile. Okay, so it's really, really good stuff. Now, but that's showing you what is. It doesn't necessarily mean that there's new markets to go for. You know, there's new potential. So what they do is they also have this service, which is showing export potential. You put in your details, what you're interested in, and they've got various algorithms that come up and say, according to their theories, these are the markets with the greatest potential for you. Okay, So you've got what is and potential. It's not bad, is it? Yeah, you really, really go through it. Now, once you've done that, you start to get a picture and you start to get a slide, right? So you got your first element of your shortlist. Now, the next port of call is seeing, do you get any support in those countries? You know, don't want to go on your own. So if you come to the exportersalmanac.co.uk, this is free of charge. You just go in and it will show you for specific countries and areas what local support you can get, all in one. Yeah. So you can see that there are chambers with an international remit. There are those are specifically things like the Canadian British Chamber of Commerce, the Italian British Chamber of Commerce. So they let you see that for specific countries, there's specific support. So check out what's available for you. Now, let's start to filter out those that we don't want. Is the size of the market too small? It's not worth the effort. Are there blacklists and embargoes so don't go there? Are tariffs and non-tariff barriers just too high to consider to remove those? And from an own personal point of view, the language consideration is just too problematic. I know myself that it's one thing if I'm dealing with languages that are written with Latin script, but as soon as it goes to Cyrillic or Hindi or Arabic or Chinese, I find it difficult to deal with. And I might consider, look, I only want to go to those countries or deal with those countries where it's Latin script because I got a fair stab what's going there. Is distance an issue? Now, it could be because the transport costs then become too high, or it's because of the time difference. You can't be bothered dealing with someone on the other side of the world, even if they do speak English Australia, right? These are personal decisions that you have to make to sort of filter out who could be of interest. Now, it's a final check, right? We've got a list. I want to see more about specific countries. If you go to exportersalmanac.co.uk, no charge, no registration necessary. It covers all of these countries. Right? You go in and you get a free view. You've got the general profile, general idea. Is it the population too small? Is it too far away? Languages. The economic profile. Is it of interest? Is the size of the market good or not? The trading profile should give you a feel for whether you think you could go in there. And we'll show you on the commercial profile, it gives you all the local links to get you going and more, right? And more, always free. Okay, so as I said previously, that for a whole of 250 countries, you've got these extra commercial contacts. You've got the direct search into Compass. So you can look into a business directory that will cover most of the interesting companies in that country. You've got various other business directories of a greater or lesser quality. You can check out the company register. Do they actually exist? If there's a government procurement platform, that's there. Banking association. Chambers of commerce can give you a good introduction to their members. Then you've got customs and excise to check on all sorts of things. And up on the top right-hand area, you've got UK support, which will show you the organizations that provide specific support for that country. Great starting point, no? All free. Giving away too much, I think. Right, having done that, you've got your countries and you've got a good idea what the potential is or whether it's existing. Are you able to analyze your competitors, actual and potential? You know, has the ITC map given you a good idea who is active there? From Compass, can you see who is present? How do your products and services compare? Initially from your domestic market, how do you compare that? What differentiates yourself? And can you apply those differentiators to the foreign market? Do you need to modify them in any way? Regulations, competition, you may at this point need to speak to the Chamber of Commerce. You don't do this all on your own. And from all of this, you start to see what advantages you think your offering has in that market. And from that, how to position yourself. And again, notice you've not spent any money. A lot of brain power gone into it, using the information that's there, but you've not spent a penny, or very, very little. Right, you've done all of that. Now you want to find the foreign buyers. Well, go to here and it will show you where you can go and look for buyers that fit the profile that you've decided. Now, the buyers may be direct consumers of your products, or they can be distributors. You think this is the way to do it, and that often is a good way to get started, because they will be able to explain to you the idiosyncrasies of your specific local market. They will know how to go in. So that can always be an excellent place to start, not just with the people you think will be the end buyer, but look for distributors. And certainly through Compass, you can look for distributors. And if the distributor tells you that they can't do a deal with you because they're dealing with X, well, there's a good indication that X is a prime competitor, and you have to see how you're going to position yourself against them. So it's a good start. And you don't need to visit at this stage. You can still deal with this online and telephone, obviously. So it's all there. So we say, you've got your channels to market, direct contact. Now, one of the things we would advise you against doing is simply saying, right, in this market, I reckon companies of these profiles are of interest. I've got all their email addresses, and bang out an email. You'll be very, very lucky if you get any response at all. Very unlucky, very lucky. You'll know yourselves, you get hundreds of emails selling all sorts of things. You don't know who they are, what it is, and you just go either straight into spam or you delete. So the direct contact is the most important. Telephone still works great. Social media as well really works. Look at the groups that are in there. Are there any groups you should join? Start to build your profile. Now, this bit does get more expensive. Are there any trade missions going on? Is the British Chamber of Commerce organizing something? Or if you're interested in Canada, is it the Ukrainian, Canadian, the UK, Canadian Chamber of Commerce organizing something? If so, look at those, look at the costs. Now, some of those will still be virtual, in which case the cost should be really minimal. Check them out. Then, and this does start to become more expensive, company marketing visits. You actually go and say, I'm coming, but before you do that, just see if there's enough interest through the phone. Are you interested? If they're not going to see you, it's no use going try and knocking on the door saying, hello, remember me from the phone call? You didn't want to see me, but I'm here now. It won't work. You've got to get that interaction going, that they are interested with you. And as I say, distributors can be a very good place to start. So look at them, start at the top, think about them, try and spend as less money as possible. So, summary, choose your target countries. And we've given the indications of where those, how to do that. There's the marketing positioning. How do you position yourself and your products against your competitors, local or foreign? And then choose your channels to market. See how to get there. Well, thank you so much for watching. UMi Makes It Easy to Find and Target International Markets. It's been a pleasure to present this to you. As we've tried to show you, low cost does not mean low quality. In fact, the opposite. There are plenty of things you can do here to really target well for your company and your products. We wish you all the luck. The markets are there. They really are. If we can be of any help at all, we're only too happy to help. Thank you again for watching.